Hi everyone, my name is Katya for you, and I'm a little bit sick. But Wednesday is Wednesday, and the sun is shining, and I decided to, well, behave and record the video that I kind of have to record for myself to practice my English because life is life, and the 3 month, almost 4 months of active practicing and watching TV shows in English resulted in that somehow I'm back into the English speaking community in Moscow. Yeah, kind of back to my international mindset. I don't know how to say. Well, let's catch the sun and have this little talk together. Well, I want to catch the sun, but at the same time, kind of see myself. So let's stay here because it's really nice. 5 o'clock sunshine that is reflected from Moscow city buildings. And I'm actually quite happy that, well, I don't see the sunset, but to me, the sunset itself sometimes is boring when you see it from above. So it's just, the skies and the sun. It's not always beautiful. And here I see all the shadows of the city. So it's like reflecting. So I find it really beautiful. So let me take advantage of this little talk and attention that I have from your side. My Instagram is Katya for you. There you can see more of like visual part and day-to-day pictures that I try to post nearly every day. I love street style videos and photos, so you might feel the atmosphere. But I'd like to talk about the traveling to Russia nowadays. I just got a proposal. How do you say it? One blogger whose name is Diego. He's from Spain, but he's recording in English. He just went to the International Youth Festival in Nizhny Novgorod. So I think today I should have been out there recording with him, but I felt a little bit sick and I wasn't ready. It's weird. Like I looked at like that. Sorry. Yeah, so I just might record something with him because he's more fresh information. He just crossed the border and I think his 5th time here. But yeah, he was like impressed by the festival and now he's in Moscow also recording and things. What I wanted to say is that when I did the Trans-Siberian trip in the year 2018, the thing is, first of all, for me, it was easier to travel this way. I was young and open to long nights on the train. So here it depends on you. Nowadays, for example, to travel around the Golden Ring. Golden Ring are one of the oldest cities around Moscow. They form a shape of a ring, and one of them is my hometown, Kostroma. So actually, I've never done the whole trip. There are quite many, like up to 15 little towns, and there's a lot of churches. It's kind of similar to Veliki Novgorod, so those Pskov, right? So it's the architecture is different. I remember appreciating my hometown after coming back from the Trans-Siberian, because up there I saw more Soviet style kind of boring cities. I guess they know that. They would have a church as well. But for example, Blagoveshchensk, the city that's located on the border and crossing the river, it's China. There, we had to walk around this long riverside, and that was it. Like the city was just not too much. For example, as we have this central part with more historical heritage. So I started appreciating my hometown back then, because previously I had moved to St. Petersburg, and coming back to Kostroma from St. Petersburg used to be like, oh, I'm 17, I live in the cultural capital of Russia, and this looks weird. I should sit here. Yeah, and right, I was like, okay, this is just a little village, but when you grow older, well, now I'm 13, I like the dynamics of Moscow and things, but when you compare it to other cities that are just small and don't offer much, well, Golden Ring is highly recommended, and I'm actually planning to do this in the end of this month, September. First going by myself. I actually wanted to organize a little trip like I used to do, but maybe I'm not as motivated as it was when I was younger. I just like showed the more or less plan of what we're going to do, because it would be like going in a group, and obviously I would speak English, Spanish, whatever they would need. But people like wanted more details, and I wasn't ready to give them more details yet. So it was like preliminary, and it never ended in something more specific from my side. But I think I will go there first, and then make up a better plan. So it's understandable that, especially the people that are not here right now, it's kind of weird to go to a trip where there's no specific details about like housing and things. I just want to choose the best options, right? And also depends on the budget and things. Because even though it's not far away, and in my mind I kind of imagine the smaller budget. Like initially the idea came to me from the students, Spanish-speaking students who live here, and they like would love to travel Russia, but they don't speak the language as well. Or I was thinking about making something as initially used to be the Trans-Siberian trip, right? So the whole trip cost like 30,000-40,000 rubles. And this was the idea because I made it different, right? They don't need a luxury train and just a one way from Moscow to Vladivostok. It actually doesn't make much sense to me, only if you want to, you're too lazy, or you just don't have energy maybe, or you just want to stay 7 days within a train to think about life. And because there is not much landscape when, you're passing through Siberia. So here I was imagining a plan, let's say a cheap version, because between this city normally you could take a bus. But then the question, like, why didn't I organize it so far, was to me that, like, Katya, are you ready to take a bus? Like 5 hours, one city, 5 hours, like it's a total different level of energy required. Right, and if I want to go to different cities, and my plan was to go like 5, maybe Rostov, Vladimir, up to Rybinsk, which has become not a part of the Golden Ring, but is next to it, and it's kind of one of the most redesigned, like that they redesigned the city center on purpose to so that it looks like 100 years back. So with the recent not ancient letters, but the letters that we used to use 100 years back. Right, so it's something that I wanted to visit, so the recommendation would be good for other people as well, because they wouldn't know those things, and I would bring them to the best places through my own filter, like for the foreigners to visit for the first time. And obviously going like my hometown is the farthest out of this ring, and it's 300 kilometers away, which is not much at all. It's like supposed to be very close. People go to Moscow by car, like 4 or 5 hours by car. I'm not a fan of going by car, but if I had a car, maybe I could consider. But nowadays, what I wanted to share in this video as well is that Russia has this culture of trains, and many people prefer trains even if you travel from St. Petersburg to Moscow and you're hesitating whether I should take a plane, take a train. From our times, like we traveled in university, and it used to be more or less the same price. But when you count the time that it takes you to go to the airport, from the airport, so it's like 1 or 2 hours, you sum it to the length of the flight and time in the airport, and then to go to the airport, either you take a taxi or you take a Air Express, which is a train that goes every 30 minutes all the way to the airport from different like metro station, like 3. I mean that it's an extra cost as well. So finally, the Sapsan, the fast train from Moscow to St. Petersburg, was always such a better option, because you just pay. It used to be like 3,000-4,000 rubles. Nowadays it's like 5 to 7, depending on the hour, because people who work they would more frequently book, the timing that is more convenient to start a working day there. So it depends on the hour, and as well, I think in the evening gets more expensive, up to 15,000 rubles. But I mean, if you buy it in advance, and if you plan, so from here would be super easy to just go to the train station that I can see from my window. Maybe I should show you. I should show you this. Let me see. I don't know if, no, I can't do it like closer, but basically you can see, if you see this, right, boom. So we see this building. This is one of the Stalin's tall buildings, the famous ones. And next to it, there are two more like tall buildings, white over here, right? So 1 and 2. And this one that you can see is right next to the square of 3 train stations, the famous Ploshchad Трех Вокзалов, and one of them goes to my hometown actually. It's called Yaroslavsky, which is next to Kostroma. The other one, this just shows the direction of the trains, obviously. Next one is Leningradsky, which goes to St. Petersburg, and the one in front is called Kazansky, and it goes, well, for us it used to be the start of the Trans-Siberian trip. So, but I want to see my face, oh my god. This, I don't know, how should I do it? And the culture of the trains is that we prefer the trains, right? And it's so convenient to go and cover those long distances, and people with let's say lower income would always prefer the train because it used to be more cheaper. Nowadays, me personally, I prefer the fast train to my hometown. And the metro is growing so quickly in Moscow. We have, I doubt to say how many metro stations, because it's growing like super fast every day. And they promise that apart from underground trains, we have on-ground trains. And those, it's just so convenient. For example, when I moved here 1 year ago, I could go from there to this place, to where I live now. I could take this on the ground train. It was just like a normal train, which costs like metro, and it was empty. And I didn't have to, like, with my bags, it was so convenient. I would just go do this half circle here, 20 minutes, and I'm here. And I don't need, like, my grandma was visiting me this month, and we didn't have to go down with all the bags and take the metro with a lot of people. And we just took the train, and so it goes up to here. And this kind of trains, they are expanding faster, obviously, because they don't need the infrastructure like downside. And they say they would prolong it all the way to Yaroslavl, so the city town next to my hometown. Can you imagine? Obviously, it's different pricing, but anyhow, it's just becoming so convenient. And I'm so happy to live here, closer to my family. Just takes 4 hours, and the fast train of 4 hours goes there 3 times a day. 3 times a day. Any day you can go. Like from St. Petersburg, it was always so hard to know which day to buy. It was okay, like if I sleep there, if I should pay more for the comfort, or I was so tired of the night trains. So now I can't. Actually, for my mom's birthday in May, I had to take this evening fast train, and I forgot my passport here. And I was almost getting there by this on-ground train, and I realized I don't have my passport. And I called mom and said, "Mommy, sorry, I fucked up," and I had to buy the night train. And there, I had to sleep there. It was all my fault. It hurt so badly, because I couldn't sleep. Basically, I couldn't sleep because there were people who were loud or were snoring, or just the sound of the train. Maybe it's something temporarily, but I really struggle nowadays with these night trains. I don't know how I did it Trans-Siberian twice. So obviously you should if you do it on purpose, if you do it consciously, then it's easier to accept those conditions and say, okay, it's okay. So I'll go there, it will happen, I'll manage. But when it's something you don't choose, it's a bit harder. Also, this is what happens to you in Moscow. You become more used to comfort in any way. So up to you, always check the fast trains. Also talking about this Golden Ring trip. As I thought when I planned the Trans-Siberian that the night train is so much cheaper and it was so affordable. Here I was thinking the same, and I just randomly, when also my sister was visiting me here, and I said, let's go to Vladimir for one day. And actually the fast train there cost like 3 or 4,000 rubles per person. So we would spend like just go there and back, like 20,000, well, 15 to 20,000 rubles just for the ticket. And it obviously changes the budgeting, it changes the perception, so it becomes like a proper trip. So I guess I should go myself first, see the cost. Also, it's different when you travel. Like my idea always was to, even though I was responsible, the one responsible for the trip, and many groups were happy with their traveling. But one thing is when you go to enjoy it as a trip, and another thing is when you go and take responsibility for the people, and you take it not as, okay, do I want to spend the whole day with that person, or it's not someone like who I consider my friend. There it changes, right? So it's all a little bit overweighting for now. Yeah. Nowadays, what pages should you use to travel here? Aviasales for the travels, for the flights, ostrovok for the hotels. When you come here, if you travel for more than 7 days, you should apply for a SIM card and then open a bank account, not to carry the cash around. And then obviously follow the pages that do some international events. Maybe at that point I would be back with my regular events, because I miss it, and it's not as hard as I thought to organize. Nowadays it's mostly stand-ups and different, like there's French community, English community, Spanish obviously. I do another stand-up this Saturday, and yeah, I will be joking about how the country of Moscow has accelerated and is now ahead of other countries, including Russia. Yesterday I spent the whole day writing jokes, but yeah, I want to be back at it. Thanks for your attention. My Instagram's Katya for you. My throat hurts a little bit, so just thank you for being here, and let's see where life brings us.